Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your November 2018 general readings. Thank you to everyone for joining us here today and welcome to any newcomers. Thanks for all your likes, shares, subscribes, and your support, feedback, and comments, and to all of my clients out there as well, both regular and new. Thank you for, I always thank you for keeping me so busy with personal one-on-one readings. It's an honor and a pleasure to read for all of you, so thank you for that. If any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, live or recorded, you can get more info and my contact details by going to my YouTube channel's homepage and clicking on the little About button there. Or you can click on the description bar of any of the videos I post. Please feel free to email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to work with you. Turnaround time for personal readings is usually fairly fast, as I do readings full-time, 5 to 6 days a week. It is what I do, so I try and work with your schedule to get you your reading as quickly as possible. I do a wide variety of readings in all areas of life, different types of readings, so if you're interested, send me an email and we'll go from there and get you set up. You can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo under Irish Gypsy, and that link is also provided. That's a smartphone app or iPad app that's really good for quick, fast answers to the quick, easy questions. But for the more traditional readings or complex issues, send me an email and I'd be delighted to work with you. All right, let's move right into this reading. This is for the fire sign of Leo, our lovely lions, for the month of November 2018. For additional clarification, if you know your rising and moon sign, watch those videos as well. They can provide, a bit more info and a bit more of the picture, or resonate a little more predictively for you. General readings always resonate a little differently because there's so many of you watching. All right, let's take a look at what's in store for Leo for November 2018. All right, Leo, we begin with the Ace of Pentacles, followed by the Devil. We have Strength, followed by the Six of Wands. We have the Sun, followed by the Hermit, which actually flipped out at an angle. And at or towards the end of November 2018, we have the Nine of Cups and the Knight of Cups. From the bottom of the deck, your overall energy and focus, general energy for the month is the Hierophant. Wow, Leo. I was a little concerned with the first couple of cards, the Ace of Pentacles and the Devil, but my goodness, it looks like there may be a challenge, a bit of a challenge or some instability around the beginning of the month. And I think for some of you, I get the feeling that for some of you, that energy is just a bleed over or part of something that began in October. I am recording these in the last few days of October. So timing always being fluid, and in general readings more so. So it could be a little earlier for some of you, a little bit later, but it looks somewhere around the end of October, beginning of November. We have the energy of the Ace of Pentacles and the Devil. We have, it looks like a pretty profound month. We have 4 major arcana cards. And while there is a bit of a challenge at the beginning of the reading, some instability, the energy just goes way up from there, and it ends in a really beautiful way. So this Ace of Pentacles and the Devil. The Ace of Pentacles, Pentacles is earth energy, and so in the tarot this usually manifests in earthly practical ways, efforts, results of things, or it manifests in the very concrete areas of our life that have to do with tangible things that we can see and touch and feel, like money, finance, property, resources, home, job, assets, etc. Those tangible things. Aces represent the number 1, so they always represent new beginnings, the start of a new path, or the opportunity for a new path. So we have tangible new beginnings here. The Ace of Pentacles is often a card that comes up for moving, relocating, starting a new job. Sometimes it can represent receiving an unexpected sum of money that enables you to have start something new, which may make a difference in your practical day-to-day life. So tangible new beginnings, but it's clear, and it's clarified by the Devil. The Devil's a major arcana card, and it represents really the scales imbalance, the scales being out of whack. it's a card that can show up for addictions, drug, alcohol addiction, sex, gambling, shopping. I mean, there's so many things to be addicted to, right? It can represent mental health issues. It can represent toxic or negative relationships, strong vices and temptations. Basically, anything in our life which puts things out of balance. What does imbalance mean? It means too much attention and focus in one area to the detriment and exclusion and harm to other areas, which is, the fundamental definition of any addiction or very negative, unhealthy relationship out there. But again, it can also represent mental health issues or even general health issues as well. So very, unstable, very up and down energy or too much energy being focused in one thing or in one area. So for some of you, I feel quite clearly that some of you may have moved recently. And when I say recently, I actually feel like some of you, this may have been as recent as within the last month. I feel like some of you actually moved maybe between 1 and 3 months ago, and you're still, and for whatever reasons, there may have been a pause or a timeout. It maybe has created some instability. You may be having difficulty in settling into a new home, or it may be more work or more issues coming up and down. For some of you, it may affect, maybe finances for a time. For some of you, this may be focused on actual home and property, moving and relocating. Some of you, the Ace of Pentacles can often represent starting a new job. Some of you may have started a new job or might be starting a new job, and it's created some up and down imbalance energy as well. Some of you it may have been a combination of all of those, moving or relocating to start a new job, and that has created a pretty profound imbalance in your life for a time. And some of you may have moved or relocated or started a new job specifically because there was imbalance in your life in those areas of life. So again, I'm getting a variety of different kind of stories coming through here. But there's a tangible new beginning. Some of you, it may have been fueled by this unstable energy, and some of you, the new beginning may have caused some unstable energy. Some of you, there may be some challenges or instability in getting something off the ground Maybe some of you, are starting a new business, or again, starting a new job, and it may be affecting some of your relationships. And again, there is a bit of a financial component in it as well. So it may, the well may be a little dry right at this time. Now we look at the rest of the month, and it feels like everything kind of flows upwards from whatever this challenge is. So next we have Strength and the Six of Wands. I really love this combination of cards. Strength is a card that represents just that, strength. It often represents wrestling with something, wrestling with our demons, facing our fears, our doubts, our insecurities, facing them, walking through them, doing, maybe asking for help, doing what's within our power to deal with those. It might be, this is a card that often represents, trying to master something within ourselves. It could be trying to master impulses, desires, which are not healthy for us, or which we do to excess too. And there's victory in doing that. It takes a lot of strength and courage and wisdom and humility and insight to face things perhaps about ourselves that we don't like, or maybe take a look at some of the patterns or choices that we've made, even in terms of facing our fears, our doubts and insecurities about whatever might be going on in your life. It takes a great deal of strength to be able to do that, but that's also what you acquire a great deal of by going through this process and mastering whatever it is that you have to master, or tame whatever savage beast you have to tame, as this woman has done. Not with brute force, but by facing it with honesty and clarity and courage and wisdom. Now, what clarifies that and what follows it, which I really love, is the Six of Wands, which is a card of victory and triumph after a struggle, after a battle, after a challenge of some kind. It's significant victory too. This is a major victory card in the tarot. And it can also represent public recognition as well. It can represent, in the workplace, maybe getting a promotion, being recognized, an award, a bonus. Some of you may be, let me turn this down a little bit. Some of you may be being publicly or visibly recognized in some way as well. If any of you out there are dealing with any addiction or mental health issues, or with somebody close to you who's going through that as well, this is also a card about, walking into your fears, dealing with the things that you need to deal with, because that's where your success and victory is coming from. The same with, whatever this challenge, this Ace of Pentacles and the Devil represents for you, because it's a general reading, it's going to resonate a little differently for everybody. It's by walking into it and facing it, even if there are things you don't want to look at, or you feel you don't have the power to change. Ask for help from God, Spirit, your angels and guides, and people around you that may be willing to help too, because that's where your victory is coming from. And it's a hard-won victory, because, it's difficult to master whatever it is we have to master, walk through what it is, whatever it is that we're afraid of. But major success and victory and recognition for that comes after that. Next we have the Sun and the Hermit. The Hermit actually came out sort of like this. So the Sun is, in my opinion, the most positively the most powerful, one of the most powerful cards in the tarot deck in terms of its ability to influence the rest of the cards in a spread. When the Sun comes out, it shines over everything, it affects everything. And when the Sun card comes out in a tarot spread, it has the ability to boost all the positive energy in the spread. And lessen and sometimes even negate any challenging energy. When the Sun comes out, it's kind of like taking a deep breath or being able to breathe a big sigh of relief. It can represent energy uplifting, loosening up of previously restrictive energies. If money or finances have been an issue, you'll find around the middle or the third week or so that loosening up. Particularly where finances or job or home is considered. It's also a card that has a strong social theme to it as well. Getting out, enjoying yourself, being around other people, and perhaps actually getting out in the sun. Some of you might even be taking a vacation. But it's a beautiful card, and it acts as kind of it has a very positive effect as it shines over everything else in the tarot spread. Now, it's clarified by the Hermit. The Hermit is a card of... it can be a card of taking a time out, taking a step back. What do hermits do? They take a step back. Hermits, monks, monastics, they retreat, whether temporarily or for a longer period of time, from the distractions of the conventional world. Why do they do this? They do this in order to seek out wisdom, clarity, insight. And that can be a very solitary path. There's some things that we go through that even though we have people around us that love and care about us, they can't actually be in there doing that contemplation and decision making for us, or taking a deeper look at something, trying to seek out wisdom and insight to find your way through something. And it can represent spending a time period where maybe you're being a bit more alone, you're not going out as much or at all, maybe not being as social as you usually are. But I feel like, especially as it clarifies the Sun, some of you may have taken a time out to kind of reflect and consider something, and you may have actually hit on something. I feel like for a lot of you, you're actually coming out of perhaps a period of seclusion. Maybe not total, but maybe just keeping more to maybe you've been through a period of keeping more to yourself, being quiet, maybe working more, maybe allowing some other things that have been going on, kind of turning things over in your head and taking a look at things, contemplating things, and maybe spending more time by yourself. And I feel like a lot of you are coming out of that. I heard a tarot reader the other day, I don't remember, on YouTube, I don't remember which one it was, but she said something I agreed with quite strongly. I don't feel like if the Sun meant that you would be coming out of an isolation, that this would be in the reverse. When the Hermit is in the reverse, I actually think it's a card about isolating from anxiety or depression and doing it in a negative way. I don't feel like it means that you're coming out of something. I like that this clarifies the Sun, because in the upright, clarified by the upright position, I do believe that you're coming out, you're beginning to come out of that, of a period of whatever this Hermit represents for you. It could be isolation or taking a time out or thinking about something or working more, trying to figure something out. in the back of your mind. And I feel like you're coming out of that, and you're really going to be enjoying yourself quite a bit in the last part of the month. And again, this is November, and at least in the States, we have Halloween that we're just celebrating here in just a couple of days, and we've got Thanksgiving in right around this time too. So that may be helpful too. That's a pretty a holiday that's kind of focused around family and being grateful for who and what you have in your life. So that could also be adding to this lovely energy as well. Now, at or towards the end of November 2018, we have the Nine of Cups and the Knight of Cups. I think some of you are going to be getting engaged. I feel like engagement. I feel like some of you are going to be receiving a marriage proposal at or towards the end of the month. It could be, maybe around Thanksgiving time. And others of you, it might not be that sort of offer, but I do feel like there's an emotional offer or opportunity, love, something being offered to you. It could be you offering it to somebody else, but I feel for more of you, it's something coming in. Knights are the deliverers, the bringers of the tarot. Their whole lives were spent kind of in training, well, for at least as long as they were knights, spent in training to focus on missions, quests. They usually had specific missions and quests, and they were very single-minded and focused about achieving those and bringing back the actual results of that. So they often represent offers or opportunities coming in, or that you are extending outwards as well. And they can also represent the speed at which situations move. And they're all fairly fast moving. Even the Knight of Pentacles, which I've heard other people refer to as, it means something's coming in, but it's coming in slow. It is, but even the Knight of Pentacles is faster moving than other traditional people or court cards in the tarot, because the knights are known for being rather spontaneous and impulsive. They get something in their head and then they go after it immediately. So this is the Knight of Cups. Cups is water energy, and in the tarot, this is the energy of the heart, emotions, feelings. It can also manifest in the area of our life that deals with relationships. So the Knight of Cups, it could be somebody expressing their feelings to you, expressing feelings of love, offers of emotional support. I really like you. It could be somebody, it could be as casual as, being asked out on a date, or somebody showing, their interest in you. Or it could be, as serious or even more committed as an offer of love, of will you marry me, or let's move in together, let's take our relationship to the next level of commitment, whatever that might mean for you. Now it's crowned. The first card that came out at the end of the month was the Nine of Cups, and it was the Nine of Cups, and it was clarified by the Knight of Cups. So whatever this represents for you, it is the cause of celebration. There is a lot of celebration. And again, because we're heading into the holidays, it could be maybe some of you at a Thanksgiving dinner or some other kind of celebration, or if you're in another part of the world where, Thanksgiving isn't celebrated. It represents being out there and having a good time, but having your cups overflowing, having a generosity of spirit because you're so happy and you feel so abundant, kind of your cups are overflowing, and you want to just make that visible to everybody and share it with everybody, as this man is doing. He has more than enough to eat, more than enough to drink. He's not suffering. His physical surroundings look quite comfortable, and he's so happy and so overjoyed that he wants to share that with everyone. And it can be a card that represents, enjoying yourself socially quite a bit, maybe attending a lot of parties or really enjoying yourself that way, or opening up a couple of bottles of wine and having a good time there. It looks like it's because of whatever this Knight of Cups represents for you, an emotional offer, and an offer of it could be an offer of love or of emotional support or encouragement. As well. It's going to mean different things to different people. It could be at a party of some kind, or it could be that this resulting lovely celebratory cups overflowing energy is because of it, or some combination of that. Any way you look at it, Leo, it's a beautiful month. We have that challenge in the beginning, but that's kind of life. I mean, life is not all, Nine of Cups and the Sun. Sometimes we have challenges in our life. It looks like there's a challenge for you or someone very close to you that has something to do with the concrete, practical area of your life, whether it's job or money or moving your home, a new project of some kind, and there's some kind of instability that's either come from that, or this new beginning is in place because you're moving away from a period of pretty profound instability. And walking into those fears and doubts and insecurities, and wrestling with and mastering whatever it is that you're trying to gain control over, is where your success and victory comes from. And everything kind of goes uphill from there. I don't mean uphill in a bad way, like pushing a boulder uphill. I mean the energy increases and lifts exponentially throughout the month, and I love it when I see the energy flow like that. Okay, there's this bit of a challenge, and the intensity of that may vary per person in a general reading, but remember we have the sun shining out over this card too, or over this spread too, so it can lessen the energy of whatever this devil card represents too, because it's only kind of there in the beginning, like the end of October, beginning of November. And again, I feel like for a portion of you, maybe a handful of you or so, whatever this instability is that has to do with maybe a new environment of some kind, it started a little while ago, but it's just the very end of it that we're seeing here. So beautiful energy. The overall energy and focus for the month is the Hierophant. This is also guidance for the month as well. The Hierophant represents convention, tradition, walking the prescribed path. It can represent organized religions, large established businesses or institutions, kind of going along with the flow. And it can mean different things. It can represent too that for the majority, if not all of November, the focus is on, kind of staying on the sidewalk, walking the conventional path of whatever is your day-to-day routine is. It can represent, that you may be getting some of this strength and courage to deal with the remainder of whatever this instability represents from the tried and true things in your life, the stable energy. Sometimes during difficult times or during challenging times, or if we have a big something that we're trying to tackle, what comforts us and keeps us kind of stable and rooted are the things that we feel are stable and rooted. It could be your home, your family, your church, if you have like a specific religious path of that kind, something that is solid and stable and secure and established, and kind of gives you that sense of comfort and rootedness, which can help get us through challenging times and challenging situations. So that's overall energy and guidance for the month of November. So Leo, that pretty much wraps up your November 2018 general reading. I hope you found it helpful. Thank you for watching it. Again, if any of you are interested in a more personal one-on-one reading with me, live or recorded, you can get more information and contact details by going to my YouTube channel's homepage and clicking on the little About button, or you can click on the description bar of any of the videos I post. Please feel free to email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I'd be most happy to work with you and set up a reading as quickly as possible. I do love and romance, of course, and under that umbrella I do compatibility, relationship compatibility charting, reconciliation possibility spreads, taking a look at whether reconciliations are possible or advised or not. I do career work and finance. I do investment readings, channeled messages from past on loved ones as long as there was a good emotional connection. And I also do gift readings, which are pretty popular starting around this time of year as we're going into the holiday season. They make great gifts for people. There's nothing more personal than a personal reading. And 6 and 12-month overviews, which are also pretty popular in the last part of the year, although you can do them any time of the year. They simply explore what's coming in your life over the next 6 or 12 months in all the main areas. It's a pretty complex spread. And a lot of people like to do that as we're looking at the ending of one year and beginning something new, but you can actually do it any time of the year. So if you're interested in any of that, send me an email and we will go from there. And Leo, I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the November 2018 mid-month readings. And until then, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. Take care, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.